page 7 of the report says Michael Quay himself, who was the chair of the committee, was the number one problem of the NPP. His actions and inactions, according to Adjasafo when he interviewed there. Everyone in this country knows what led to the defeat of the NPP. And it was amply captured in their Ashanti region report. They said it was in 2 parts.
Professor Mike Okwe ne report na the NPP for now. Omuchire mu say enye Ghana for ne soma wom obi an soma wom so monko report nti nya ade a omo report ne ba bontima obi ahwe bi nti omo ankasa wom ho ne hwesa report na busia unim say report no aliki. Yes, aliki because former solid NPP member bi aba wontene abeka report ne mu nsem a wo kire mu say de ohu ya ne hu dwiri no krampo ye nipa na okoye report ne de baaye no wono a one of the people at NPP Owusu general election no Solomon Mensah asam ne Kenya ni Solomon Mensah some time ago no a NPP member fully NPP member bebi obeko bia no na o defend NPP left right center but enra one should be a Pan-African TV so oko reveal content of the report wo che mu say Professor Michael Quay onankasa wodi report na nim no ne din na that report no so no ono na the number 1 person tia NPP Owusu election nya no kwa no kai osaka no bebre a report ni mu a ema NPP Owusu election no yenkonko tiembra ase malikbasintale TV so bo homod ni subscribe share no benya video ni bi enhwe.
Even need you saw that activity as something that was only for internal purposes. What was the need for you to invite media houses? Now people are coming out with all sort of page 3. Somebody just told me this morning that page 7 of the report says Michael Quay himself, who was the chair of the committee, was the number 1 problem of the NPP. His actions and inactions, according to Adjasafo when he interviewed there. Now you are giving people the opportunity to speculate. But are you in doubt as to what led to the NPP losing the election of 2024? If for nothing at all, the bedrock of the new patriotic party is the Ashanti region. If you agree with me, all the elections that the NPP has won, they have won because the margins in the Ashanti region was superlative. It was overboard. Now, immediately after the elections, on the 14th of December 2024, did the NPP regional executives not set up a committee to investigate what led to or caused their defeat? Was there not a report? There was a report that was submitted. The chairman's committee that submitted a comprehensive report, which report got leaked. And who told them the report that they claim is not leaked, is not out there? Even the Japanese book that was ruling this country got leaked. Something that was in the bosom of the presidency got leaked. How much more this report? Was it not typed by somebody? Now let's excuse us. Everyone in this country knows what led to the defeat of the NPP. And it was amply captured in their Ashanti region report. They said it was in 2 parts: governance issues and internal issues. On the governance issues, you and I know how dilapidating, how the economy was in shambles. I mean, an economy that a party that took over an economy that was running an inflation at 15.4%. In 2024, your inflation rate was around 23.8%. So if you compare these two figures, and even the one that was having 15.4, we gave him 44% in 2016. What were they expecting? That there was a special breed of people who would be doing inflation at 23% and still do better than the one that was doing 15.4. And so mathematically, they were supposed to do worse than John Mahama in 2016. And that was what the Ghanaian did precisely. In an economy that in 2016, we were buying a gallon of diesel at 14 cedis. A gallon of diesel. That some of us said it was uncalled for. It was unthinkable. Based on that, we campaigned. I campaigned vigorously against John Mahama's administration in 2016. In 2024, a gallon of diesel, a liter, not a gallon. Mind you, 4.5 liters make a gallon. So a liter of diesel was more than a gallon of diesel in terms of pricing in 2016. It was going for close to 16 cedis. So what were you expecting? The cedi to the dollar, 1:4.2 in 2016. In 2024, it was hovering around 15 or 16 cedis. So we knew this. Beyond that, the issue of galamsey. When all of us were complaining, I mean majority, with the exception of few, who are not patriots, whose only interest in this world is money, everything is money. Yes, money is good, but it's not everything that has to be monetized. Your health is important. A healthy nation is a wealthy nation. They were told that galamsey was a major problem. Deal with it. Their members of parliament, Dr. AY3KA, Napo himself, they were encouraged. In fact, AY3KA told us that they were not going to stop galamsey today nor tomorrow, and that the NDC then was only convincing the NPP to stop the galamseyers so that they will use it for campaigning for them to lose. That was the logic then. It took the Accra Diocese of the Catholic Church to go and demonstrate a prayer demonstration. For the first time in my life that I had a prayer demonstration against a sitting government. They were praying, NPP lose, lose. I will lose. And you say, you don't understand. This thing, you need a committee to tell you. They gave you the Tumu bill. You remember the Tumu bill? It was on the table, on the desk of President Kufuor. Miraculously, we got people to go to court to stay it, file a stay of execution. The president said his hands have been tied by virtue of the fact that a stay of execution had been filed, and so he couldn't sign. Meanwhile, another person went to court. He had filed for a stay of execution. The president signed. The Ghanaian said, look, you were just joking with us. He said you wouldn't listen. Arrogance of power. You saw it everywhere. So arrogant bunch of people. The Ghanaian complained. He said you won't listen. These were the governance issues. Now you come to internal issues. A party that decided to foist a candidate, bawumia, on the whole system. The system was so skewed. I don't want to ask it to concentrate on what happened to Mr. Lanchemate, because definitely that would be the last straw that will bring the camel's back. Let them tickle themselves. Because if I come here to discuss it, it will be like you are reinventing the wheel. But that problem is the main problem. The way and manner they treated Mr. Lanchemate, they would never forgive him. They treated him as a leper. They treated him as an outsider. Look, in those days, you go on campaign, you get to Ashanti region, all regional executives will call you, either my grandmother is dead, my uncle is dead, none of them, because they have been warned not to go with Mr. Lanchemate. All of them en bloc. Northern region, we were going to Northern region, Samba, along the way, Samba says, excuse me, I've gotten a program, I can't run away. Northeast, they said, don't even come there. As for Northeast, they told us we don't have to come there. All these things are happening in NPP. People will be beating life out. Go and mention the name of Mr. Lanchemate. The next day, your name is crossed out of the party. So, did you need any soothsayer to tell you that you were going to lose or perform abysmally? It is there. But then, we don't want to speak the truth. So they are trying to circumvent or go around the real causes of what led them to defeat. And that's how you see some of these things. So the NPP's report, the Ashanti region's report, is what represents why they lost, because the bedrock of the NPP is in the Ashanti region. But the only problem with that report was also to clean the flag bearer. The presidential candidate, Dr. Bawumia. So now how can you go to war and as a commander of the battalion, you are defeated, and they come and tell you that the commander didn't have a problem, but it was rather the troops. Hey! So the commander was commanding what? You that led the troop or the battalion to such a hefty defeat, you are not a problem, but you are rather giving the command to them, the instructions to them. And you want to blame the innocent souls? It is all to pave way for Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia to contest in 2028. That is what they have been doing. So if you go back and read the Ashanti Region report, they brought in Kennedy Japan as one of the reasons or factors that led to their defeat, because of the way and manner he was talking loosely. Everybody knows that he has been talking loosely, but you were eulogizing him. I'm not a fan of Kennedy, because if you are talking about people who are also part of the problem in the NPP, he was part of the problem. Initially, he was supporting that nonsense that was going on in the party. He was supporting Bawumia, as you have been told by Afenjo Markins, his bosom friend. Afenjo told us in an interview that he and Kennedy were supporting Bawumia before all of a sudden he came to tell the world that he was going to contest as a flag bearer. So you were part of those that were strategizing to alienate Alan Jemati from the system. I don't have empathy and sympathy for him. What you sow, what you together with them did will come back to haunt you.